Alright, so this is the first episode of a new series that I'm going to be doing where me, a professional photographer, is going to be going up against a beginner photographer. In this instance is going to be my girlfriend, Danny.
Hi.
There we go. So the whole premise of the show is that we're going to have a theme per video. In this one, we're going to be focusing on slow shutter speeds. So we're both going to go out, we're going to take one image each, we're going to have to come back, edit that image, and then we're going to compare and contrast, see what we think of each other's images, give them some critiques, and see if we've got a clear winner.
See you then.
All right, let's go.
For my photo, I'm going to be putting plain flour in Matt's hair and getting him to move his head from left to right. Hopefully it'll look a bit like an explosion. Fingers crossed it works, because I've got no other backups.
Right, so we're doing slow shutter speeds.
Yeah.
So you need a slow enough shutter speed so that you get motion blur. What do you want to change?
That.
That's your shutter speed.
So how do I change that?
You could do that.
Up or down, I guess down for slower.
Yeah. But now we got the issue that your image is way too bright. So what are you adjusting now?
Right, ISO.
Right, okay, cool.
I'm gonna go with that one.
200. So
We'll
your
just
settings
try
are ISO 200, 1/15th of a second, and an aperture of f5.
Yeah.
So now, of course, you're going to need me in the frame
Yeah.
so that you can pour that on my head.
Oh god. Oh, that's such a weight.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Go.
Look at that. Go to the other one. I don't even know what that's meant to be.
Three, two, one, go. And then quick. Oh.
Oh, bloody hell. Alright, what have we got?
I'm totally fit before.
That's cool. That looks like I've got a cap on.
Looks like you're smoking.
It does look like I'm smoking.
So this is the image that I've chosen. I have a slight idea of what I think I'm going to do with it. I think I'm going to click this magic button over here and
Boom, done. Right, see you
Boom.
later.
try. Thanks for having me.
I reckon you should work on the contrast.
So I'm going to work on the contrast. Maybe up or down.
Up, 100% up.
I'm going to go up, 100% up. Maybe a bit lower on the exposure. Oh, give it a bit more of a vibe. Highlights. So I'm just going to quickly mess with the clarity.
Ooh. Oh, that looks like snow now. Look at the effect that had. So that's plus clarity. What happens if you go into the minus?
Oh, it all goes blurry.
Then you get a very ghostly look.
No, I like the clarity.
You like clarity?
So I've just upped the sharpness to 80, just to try and give it a bit more sharpness on the details.
Well, yeah,
Like
you can
his
see
beard. and
every strand of beard there.
the little bit of flour that you've got on your nose.
My nose hairs.
Happy with that. Very, very, very happy.
You want to come in the shot? Oh. So the technique I'm going to be using for this picture is going to be, it's going to be a pan-in photo. Pan-in is where you're tracking your moving subject with a slow shutter speed, so the final image should give you a relatively sharp subject, but everything else will be completely blurred out. Now you typically see this happening with racing cars or motorbikes. That's where you would typically see this technique being used, but today I'm going to be using it on the dog. So the lens I'm going to be using for this shot is just going to be the Nifty 50. I don't really have a need for a zoom lens, so this will do just fine, of course, with the R6. So I'm not gonna lie, I had quite a bit of difficulty with this photo. My idea was that we would get a frisbee, throw it for Prince, our dog, and as he was chasing it, I would simply track him with my camera. Now, honestly, I have no idea how many times we attempted this until I got a photo that I was somewhat content with, but it took a while. This is bloody hard. All right, so this is the final image that I've gone for. You can see here, I really didn't get the effect that I was going for. I got a blurry background, but I've also got a blurry subject. Unfortunately, I just could not find a shutter speed or a method that just made this work. So this is just the image I'm going to go for, and I'm just going to try and make it work. So the first thing I want to do when it comes to editing is I just want to turn this into a 16:9 crop and kind of go for that letterbox kind of look. So little adjustments here and there, just going to up the temperature a slight bit. Now the thing that I really want to play with actually is the clarity, because you'll notice that if I punch this up, the image becomes a lot more punchy and contrasty. That's not the kind of look I want to go for. Considering we're working with slow shutter speeds, it kind of gives you that dreamy faded look. So I want to make the image a bit more faded by actually putting the clarity into the more minus section. And honestly, that's pretty much all I can do with this image. This is the final thing here. I'm going to rock with this and use this as my submission. So I think we both came into this with an idea in mind of what photo we were going to take. You executed it. I definitely didn't. All right, let's look at your image first then. So I think you got the best of both worlds with your image.
I got the slow shutter speed. I had the skill.
The skill.
And
skill.
I just overall had a better concept than you.
A better concept as well. You got so much detail out of like my face, because at this point, even though you're using a slow shutter speed, my beard is completely tack sharp. Everything about my face is tack sharp, but the motion of the actual flower is still moving. So you've got the best of both worlds, and that kind of the effect that I was going for. Why did you go black and white?
I went black and white because I tried to edit it.
Thought, can't do this. Okay, black and white. Okay, so upon review, Prince is a little bit sharper than what I thought he was. He's nowhere near as blurry as the background, but he's not as sharp as I wanted him to be. So the reason for that is when people typically take photos of a car driving down a racetrack, they're tracking it for a good 6 or 7 seconds because the distance between them is so great. Whereas the distance between me and Prince, it was minimal. He was in frame for like 0.5 of a second. That's not really tracking. No. That's why he's nowhere near as sharp as I wanted him to be. So it was definitely a learning experience in the fact that I failed. And I think it could be a lot better, but it's not that bad. What would you say about it? Go on.
I don't have much to say apart from maybe try better next time.
Oh, okay. So I think in conclusion, for the first episode of Professional versus Beginner, the beginner wins.
I agree.
I think it's a clear win, honestly. I'll take it in my stride.
And I will take it to my ego.
Yeah, you definitely take it to your ego. Until the next one, where...
What are we doing next time?
It's only fair to go fast shutter speeds, really. Okay. Do the complete opposite. Done slow, let's do fast.
See you next time.
All right, see you in the next one. Hang on. What can they do in the meantime?
They can like and subscribe, and you can watch this video here.
I'm going to have to perfectly frame that now with your hands, aren't I?
Do you reckon I get enough space?
Yeah, I think that's a decent sized video to click on. Click on it, try it. There we go. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.